Factors influencing agriculture. The first factor is the climatic factors, and it should be noted that different crops require varying limits of rainfall, humidity, and temperature. Temperature, for example, affects crop maturity, ripening of fruits, and it also determines the soil moisture content as well as influences the rate of photosynthesis and transpiration. For example, crops such as cocoa, oil palm will require areas of high relative humidity. So different crops will require different amount of rainfall, levels of humidity, and even the temperature of a place. The second factor is relief, or what is known as topography of an area. Topography and differences in altitude determine the type of crops that can be grown in an area, as well as the animals which can be reared in a given region. For example, crops like tea, coffee do well in higher altitude of about 1,500 meters above the sea level, while rice, cotton, sugarcane require low altitudes. Again, it should be noted here that lowland areas eases cultivation and mechanization of agriculture. Next factor is soil, and soil fertility and soil drainage determine the amount of output, that is what can be obtained from a given piece of land, and therefore different crops require different types of soil in terms of mineral composition and even drainage. So some crops will survive in areas that are waterlogged, while others will require well-drained soils. Next, we have biotic factors, and these include weeds and parasitic plants which influence the amount of output from the farms. We also have pests and diseases which affect plants and even animals, reducing the yields from these particular plants and animals. We also have some living organisms in the soil which are important to plant life. For example, the nitrogen fixing bacteria present in the soils that will influence the rapid growth of plants within that particular soil. Again, human activities will also influence the type of agriculture in an area by influencing directly the amount of land available for agriculture. Next is social factors, and the type of farming practice depends on the culture of the farmers concerned, e.g., system of land ownership and inheritance lead to an economical subdivision of land, limiting extensive farming. So the first social factor there is land ownership. Land ownership and inheritance. Then we also have religion as a social factor, e.g., pigs are not kept or eaten by Muslims, Hindus, or Jews. Then another one is the traditional diet. Traditional diet, like some crops are traditionally grown in given areas, for example, bananas in Uganda and yams in Nigeria. Then lastly, we have certain culture or cultural activities that limit use of modern technology in the farms. So those are social factors that influence agriculture. Lastly, we have economic factors, and these include operational costs of agriculture, marketing expenses, price fluctuations, government policy or subsidies, and international agreements on quota systems which directly influence the type of agriculture and even the output that is obtained from the agricultural activities.